Light a match, burn it down. That's what they do. And I was like, sweetie, don't burn the ship down. Saved our relationship. It's a total redemption. You have got to pursue those gifts and those talents in healthy ways and get beyond the fear. I hope that you're treasuring these moments because you don't know how long they'll last. Physically putting myself out there when sometimes I don't want to step in front of the world.
How I met you was through the Something Different duo.
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about what that is, and how it came to be?
Something Different duo is a musical duo between my father and I. He plays the piano and then I sing. And we started it 13 years ago. Wow. In March, it'll be 13 years. Wow. Because my dad...
Was it for your wedding?
Actually, no. In fact, we started it because my grandparents were failing and they needed someone to live next door to them and take care of them. They had a little cottage next door. So my dad left his job, moved into the cottage. Now he's not really making an income, but he's on call all day for the parents, my grandparents. And my grandfather was bedridden with Parkinson's. My grandmother took very, very good care of him. My dad thought it would be a couple years, but it ended up being about a decade. And then once Grandpa was gone, it was now Grandma's turn to need a lot of help. So when he first lost that job and came back and lived in the cottage, he said, Ashley, I got to make some money. We should do music together. And I had recently graduated. It was probably 2 years out of college. I went to college for music. And I didn't have anything else going, and I thought it sounded like a good idea. So we started practicing in his little cottage, songs that he and I both loved. And so a little bit of stuff that he liked and a little bit of the stuff that I liked, and we just meshed it together. And that's how Something Different duo was born. We played little places until word of mouth spread, and we got more and better gigs. And here we are 13 years later, still doing the same thing. Wow. It's kind of a beautiful story.
It is a beautiful story. Do you have siblings?
I have an older brother.
Okay. Is he musical as well?
No. No, he's actually very technological. Okay. He's very computer savvy. But no, this was something very special between Dad and I always. I can remember being little, and he would play the piano while we were trying to fall asleep. And I remember when I was young being kind of annoyed by that, like, I can't fall asleep because I'm hearing Piano Man in the back room. And now when he plays Piano Man, I'm singing it.
Yeah.
And our relationship went through a very chaotic period of time. And I won't give too much of his story away because it's his story to tell. But for about 4 or 5 years, there were a lot of separations and a lot of getting back together between he and my mom. Basically, their marriage imploded, and they divorced when I was maybe in middle school. Might have been early high school. But they got divorced, and so he was no longer living with us, and it was really rough. And watching my mom try to come back out of that. There was about 5 years of finding her in fetal position on the couch, and just like that's really hard.
It's hard to see your mom like that. Yeah.
It is. My mom is an angel. She is such a dear woman. Not to say that my dad is not, but we lost a lot of time while he was not living with us, and we saw him regularly, but he and I did not have a very close relationship. And I think I was bitter. You know, when you're young and you don't understand that your parents have their own life and their own problems. I was in my early 20s, and my dad and I were basically estranged. I remember I ran a test. I said, if I don't call him or contact him, how long will it take for him to contact me? I can't remember if it was 3 or 6 months later. Wow. But I finally called him and I said, are you dead? Do you not care? Do you not know where I am? Because I'm angry at this point. Why don't you want to know where I am? Why don't you want to know what I'm doing? Why aren't you checking in on me? And when we decided to do this musical duo, our first gig was about 3 weeks before my wedding.
Okay.
And so that's how I keep track, is our group is as old as my wedding. But the music and doing music together saved our relationship. It's a total redemption, because as an adult, we're now driving an hour to a gig, setting up, spending time together, taking down. He's apologizing for things. And I'm understanding more about what he went through in his life and the disappointments he'd had and how that played into his role as a dad and as a husband and all the things. And you just get a little more perspective the older you get. And it repaired our relationship. And now he has to talk to me all the time because we go gig.
Yeah.
And, you know, I see
He
him.
doesn't have much of a say.
He doesn't. We must. But it's been a special arrangement. And I'm so grateful because there was a hard part of my heart that did not want to let anything soft.
Yeah.
I wanted to hold it against him. And I'm very grateful that I wasn't able to.
Yeah. It's been a blessing.
It has been a really big blessing. Yeah. I love my dad. We have a relationship now as adults that most girls don't get with their dads.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's special.
I've seen you guys together.
Oh, yeah.
He's special.
We like to cut up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when somebody asks you what you do, what do you say? Because I know you have a day job as well.
I do. I start with I'm a wife. So that's first.
Yep.
Next is I'm a mother. So I wrangle children all day long now.
Tell me a little bit about your children.
I have an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, both girls. Okay. Pray for me. They are on their way into.
Pray for Daddy.
He's scary, so I think they'll be okay.
With the gun, does he good old boy with the?
He's 6'2" and furry.
Okay.
And linebacker
That'll be
looking.
fine.
Yeah, he's gonna just look at them and they'll probably melt. So I'm not terribly worried about that portion. And my oldest is so strong-willed and very even-keeled that I don't think she'll ever run into any problems. Okay. And then my youngest will probably have a tattoo and a boyfriend at 14. So that's...
Let's visit this again in a couple of years.
Yeah, call me back.
Yeah.
So I have 2 girls. We're homeschooling right now, so I am in the trenches with them all day long, and I love them.
Do you teach some music?
You know what's funny? No.
Interesting.
We sing together. We do like music. We sing and we dance around the house. But I find that my children don't learn very well directly from me, and I think it's the girl thing.
I get that.
Do you understand?
I homeschooled my eldest until we had the foster kids, actually, and then I ended up putting her in school because I wanted to still like her.
Yes.
But at the same time, I didn't realize that she had dyscalculia, which is dyslexia with numbers, because she was so wicked smart. And she could read from the time she was 4. She had college-level comprehension in 4th grade, but she could not remember that 7 + 3 was always 10. And I'm like, you're being lazy, you're being stubborn, you're being all the things. And we finally put her in school. And I remember when her teacher pulled me aside and she said, I would like to test her for dyscalculia. And I was like, oh, sweetie, that's so cute that you think that's a real thing. Like, no. Because I was a teacher. Like, I had all the knowledge. I knew about dyslexia, but I didn't know about dyscalculia, however you pronounce it. And she's like, well, just go home and research it and look. And I went home and I bawled because I was like, I could have written this for her. Now, fast forward, she's a nurse. She, like, basically anything that she had to work for, she was so smart, but as far as numbers go, she had to work so hard. And I'm so proud of where she's at today. But it was a lot. And so I put her in school because I homeschooled her kinder through 3rd grade. And she went to school. And then when we moved, that was over in Hawaii. Then we moved back to Hawaii when she was in 7th grade. And we did another 7th grade. Homeschooled her again for 7th grade, but had her in like a co-op kind of thing. It was an online co-op kind of thing. And then she came to the private school that I was working at. So
I think that's probably the stage of life we're going to transition into is homeschool's working, but not
there's only so much you can teach them. At a certain point, like I knew 5th grade was, then I've got to tap out. I can't help you past 5th grade. Yeah. 5th grade math is about my
your expertise.
Yeah.
I find that it's less about what to teach them because online curriculums give you so much flexibility with what they can learn at home now. So that's beautiful. Yeah. It's not that we're struggling with the curriculum, but if they're having an issue and I sit down to help them, they don't really want my help. Yeah. They do want my help,
They'll
but
listen
they don't.
To a stranger, but they won't. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm finding that I need some strangers' voices in there telling them the same things that I'm telling them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because for some reason there's resistance there. Yeah. And I got look, I just got to let it happen because I'm certain that I did the same thing with my mother and I just don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm in the trenches of momming. I'm technically managing 3 properties. So we live in a house that's the caretaker's home associated with my husband's business. We have a home that we're getting ready to sell in Gloucester. That's been the workup to our debt-free plan, basically. Okay. We've spent 13 years. Instead of going on a honeymoon, we bought a house and we lived in it 5 years, fixed it up, sold it, and then paid off our student loans. Nice. And then rolled what was left into the next foreclosure house, right? Lived in it 5 years, fixed it up, sold it at the height of pandemic for twice what it was worth, right? Nice. So then we bought almost outright. Well, we don't have high-paying jobs, and we made the priority for me to stay home with the girls. So I have not had a real income. I've had income because we're hustling. Yeah. So I've been a part-time youth director, and I've been a part-time worship director, and had the music jobs all throughout staying home with my kids. Yeah. So we have balanced that. But we don't make a lot of money. We've just had to be smart with what money we've had. So now we're about to sell this home that will then we'll have no debt, quite a good chunk in the bank, and we'll own outright a property that we're going to hang on to for now. Yeah. But that's beautiful. But I'm also managing all those things in addition to him. And after I leave here, I'll probably go paint that house because we're finishing the paint job so we can sell it, right? Yeah. So what did I go? Wife, mother, property manager. I, up until a couple months ago, had been the worship director part-time at a church really close to here. And it's interesting because as a musician, you would think that would be something that comes naturally. It's not. It's actually, it's out of my wheelhouse to direct and lead an entire worship team. But I did it because I felt called to do it. Yeah. And I love this particular church. They needed somebody.
For a season.
It was for a season. Yeah. And when I decided to homeschool the girls, I asked to step back from that position and they found someone to fill my shoes. I'm still volunteering. I'm still helping. I'm still on call. But I don't have kind of the weekly role of I've got to get these boxes checked. Yeah. Because it would have been too much. Yeah. And then I'm a part-time musician.
Awesome.
That's what's going on right now.
And then you sleep sometimes.
Sometimes I sleep. Actually, with homeschooling, I sleep a lot more.
I know. I used to love it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things about homeschooling was the fact that I could take them anywhere and make it educational. Yes. I am of the opinion, I'd take the kids back to Australia for 8 to 12 weeks at a time because travel is so much better than anything they can get sitting behind a desk.
I agree.
And I love to be able to take them. Like I remember one time we took them to this, it was like a stable, I guess, and it was a leather making. Like they were making saddles. This was in Texas when we lived there. Yeah. And then we went another time, like when the girls were learning, the alphabet at the beginning. Over in Hawaii, there is the Polynesian Cultural Center, which I don't know if you've ever heard about it, but it's owned by Brigham Young University. That's how they bring a lot of their missionaries over to the Mormon missionaries work it, and they do their Mormon missionary there. But it's all the Polynesian islands, and you can go around and they do the cultural. It's a cultural kind of thing. It's almost like what do you call this up here? Busch Gardens. Right. It's that kind of size. Wow. But every little pocket is a different island. So you've got Tonga, you have Tahiti, you have Samoa, you have Hawaii, and they all tell their cultural history, and they're funny. It's entertaining. It's beautifully done. It's really, really well done. And then in the evening they do a production. And so when the girls were learning, the letter T, we would go up, we'd just take the day, and we would just spend the day at Tahiti and Tonga. Oh, yeah. They also had New Zealand, which is Aotearoa, which when they were learning A, we would take them up there. And, yes, the rest of the world knows it as New Zealand, but its native name is Aotearoa. But it's actually the only island that has snow. Because Polynesian Island, and it was so interesting, and I learned along with them, but it was fun, and we got to just go off and do, we could trip up to the Smithsonian's, or we could I don't know. I just love that aspect of, and
freedom.
Part of it was I'm not a morning person. So.
Yeah, same. Are you a late night person? Are you night owl?
I used to be, but now I'm probably in bed by 9:00. Usually, I'll read or I'll watch tele or something like that. It's all about 10. But yeah, I'm more of a night person than I am a morning person.
Same.
100%.
I'm with you.
So where would you say you're at in this season of life?
Transition.
Okay.
This is a huge season of transition for our family, and I think specifically for me. So I've transitioned out of a worship director position. Other than having the income from something different duo, I don't have an income right now. That I don't enjoy that. I have always worked.
Oh, so you're living by faith.
I'm living a lot by faith. We are both living by faith. And because, of course, my husband enjoyed the fact that I used to have a little money coming in too. And then I was the flex parent. So when the girls were in school, they were at a private school in Gloucester. When they were in school, I was the manager. I took them to school. I picked them up from the school. I made sure the
doctor's
activities.
Appointments.
Yes, exactly. And also, if they were sick, I was flexible. I could stay home and be that. And so I was making money on the side and keeping the house run and making sure the groceries were done and make sure the bills were paid. Like those were my jobs. And now it's just transition. So we're transitioning to homeschooling. It's probably going to look a little different next year.
Is this your first year?
This is our first year. And next year will look a little different. I think we need to do a co-op or a hybrid school where they can go 2 days a week. Something that gets them out from underneath my feet because they're not happy to be there 24/7 all the time.
And it's good for them socially.
They do need to make some buds. We have good friends, but my schedule when I'm working in the evenings it's not conducive for having play dates with their friends who were in school, because in their evenings, they're trying to get their homework done. And
that's true.
And I'm usually working on weekends and nights when other people's parents are free. Exactly. So it makes it tricky. But just lots of transition. We're selling that house and then we're simplifying everything and we're going to be financially free. And
that's exciting.
I love transition. I love change. I am not afraid of change. I run right towards it. But I also, that's why I have my husband, because he does not like change and he reels me in.
Okay.
And he makes sure that we're not changing things too often, because my eldest daughter is also not a changer.
Yeah, no, mine either.
Yeah.
My eldest daughter needs, she needed to know when she was going to school, what are we having for dinner tonight?
We'll wake up in the morning. Yeah. What are we doing today?
Yeah. And I used to joke around and be like, I didn't think she was OCD, but I think she's a little bit. And I'd say, if I told her we were having chicken, and it wouldn't care if it was like she came home from school and she told me she had her first kiss and it was the best day of her life. If for dinner I then served her spaghetti, everything's gone.
Yeah, that's my oldest
The whole day's ruined.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what else happened. She was mentally prepared for the X, Y, and Z, and then K got thrown in there, and she doesn't,
light a match, burn it down. That's what they do. And I was like, sweetie, don't burn the ship down. Like, everything was great.
We had a great day together.
Up until this one moment, and you're still going to eat.
Yeah.
It's just not chicken.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, that was my eldest.
Did she turn out okay? Please tell me.
She's lovely.
Good. Okay.
She's amazing.
That helps my heart.
And she's also, but as a teenager...
Oh, Lord.
No. She's the reason we read The Strong-Willed Child. My mother-in-law gave it to me when she was very young. And she's just very stubborn, very stubborn. As a teenager, she was the only one who told my husband, I wish you were dead. Only one that my husband thought he was going to hit.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for my husband to get riled up because he's just so low key and chill. He didn't hit her, but I'm just saying, she went nose to nose with that kind of in your face. And I think if she had been a boy, he probably would have slugged her. Yeah, for sure.
She probably had it coming.
None of this gentle parenting.
Yeah. No.
We did not hit our children. It's
right. Right.
But that kind of in your face.
I am very familiar.
And then she went through at the end of the teenage years, that whole nothing. And I still remember she got married at 20. So we could not tell her, because we got married at 20. We can't say, no, you can't get married at 20. She got married at 20. And I still remember that first phone call when she called and she says, how do I tell if potatoes are bad? And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I fail as a mother that I didn't tell you when potatoes are bad? I feel like I poured so much other things into her that, like, when that came up, I was a little taken back. But she's turned out amazing. She's a wonderful mother. Like I said, she's a nurse. But she's that kind of personality that when you she's so stubborn that when she's fighting with you, she will not back down. She will not, and she will die on that hill, even though she knows. And so you've kind of almost got to break her.
Yep.
That sounds bad.
No, I'm in it right now. We're in the breaking phase.
But with my other two, I wouldn't do that. I would never square up with them and just push them and push them and push them. Mm-hmm. But with her, you had to. Yep. And then the second, she would always come back and she would be like, I'm so sorry. I know what you were saying is wrong. And I couldn't admit that you were right. Like, but then she'll always come back and but you've got to know your kids and you've got to know, like, because I would
so
never
different.
I would never do that with the other two.
Right.
Their personalities are so different. Mm-hmm. But she was just very stubborn. So now when she calls me, and Charles can probably attest to this, like she is completely freaking out on the phone. You've just got to let her process it, let her walk it through, and then once she gets calm down, then you can, when she's at that peak and she's at that height, it doesn't happen as much obviously now that she's older, but every now and again she'll have a panic freak out moment. Mm-hmm. But then she calms down. Like, we recently just found out she's pregnant with her second.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. And then last week she had her 20th week checkup and found out the baby has cleft palate or cleft lip. Okay. So she calls me, she's crying. She's obviously she's worked so hard for this baby. They went through 3 years of infertility after our first grandson. She's lost multiple babies. They ended up having to go through IVF. And then they found out that the baby has cleft palate. And so she's just like not losing it, but she was very, very upset. And then we talked it through and we're like, it's fine. Everything else is fine. All of this. The next day I'm just texting her. I'm like, how are you doing? She's like, yeah, I'm good. I know it doesn't change how I feel about the baby. It's not like it's a terminal diagnosis. It's cosmetic. We're just going to tell Liam the baby's got a funny lip. The doctor's going to fix it. We're all good. But she's got to go through those emotions first. And that's the exhausting part.
Yes, it is.
As the mom, because your heart breaks. Like, I know there's nothing literally nothing short of prayer, nothing that I can do. And God is a miracle working God. I'm not saying that he can't fix that before that baby's born, or I can't say they're saying it's bilateral. I'm not saying he can't make it unilateral before that baby's born. I'm not putting anything past God. But as a mom, there is nothing I can do for my baby right now. And when they live in Denver, they're so far away.
That is so far.
Like, I know it's not that far, but it's far.
It's far.
And just not being there with them. But again, can't do anything. But that's the hard part of parenting.
That is.
It is. But if I could go back, I don't know. I think I would definitely go back and do some things differently, for sure.
Speak to me about what you would do differently, because Rebecca has been strong-willed since the moment she came out of the womb.
Same with Danae.
She lifted her head up off of my chest the moment she was born. Wah! Well, I mean, this child has incredible strength, incredible strong will. She fought me off at a diaper change before she could walk. I have never in my life been fought off at a diaper change, and she fought me so long that I had to give up because I was getting so frustrated. I didn't want to hurt her.
Yeah.
But she was so strong, and she fought me off. Finally, I just let go, and she crawled away, and I was like, I'll just give it a minute, and then we'll try again. But from the moment that she was born, she is like my husband in tiny person form. She is my husband, but tiny female. And it's a roller coaster of new.
It is. And like when Danae was born, she was 9 weeks early. So like I said, we spent 7 weeks in the hospital. But so she's had to fight to survive.
Yes.
Right? Whereas my other two, we jokingly say if Abigail and Kian had have been born, like they would have just been like, oh, you want me to breathe by myself? Yeah, Jesus, take me now. Like, it's not that they're lazy. They are just, their personalities are completely different. Whereas Danae fought to survive. And I feel like she just fights the battles. Her name means vindicated by God. And I feel like she just lives up to it. Like she's just that. She fights the battles. Whereas the other two, they're a little more laid back. They're a little more chill. And now Abigail may have been inadvertently more chill because Danae was so much that I'm like, sweetie, I can't handle you being bad. I need you to be good. You know, that kind of thing. So I don't know how much, but I will tell you.
Yeah.
Danae not really rebelled, but she fought as a teenager, whereas Abigail kind of had that fight as a bit of an older adult. But by the time they were both 25, back to best friends.
Awesome.
Like, so just know that at some point they will go, and that has to happen. There's that severing, and that's healthy, and it's the way God designed it. It needs to happen. You just pray over them, that for his protection over them, that you'll have wisdom to know when to say things and when to not say things. I had to pray a lot, and we're still in it. But you just trust that his word does not go out void. It always comes back. And you're going to be crying.
Look, this is why I brought the tissues in, because I know.
But
this is helpful because
his word never comes back void. But just know it's not always going to look the way you expect it or want it to look, and you have to be able to recognize those blessings. So when you get that text or you get that call after months or weeks or however long, it's really hard because, you know, when they're teenagers, especially towards the late teens, they know everything. You know nothing.
I was one of those.
Yeah,
I knew everything.
I was too.
I remember.
I was too.
My mom tells me all the time,
Yep.
I know, Mom. I know, Mom.
Yep, I know.
That's what I was saying.
Me too. And then, like, even a couple of weeks ago, my best friend and I were helping Abigail, our middle daughter, through a job situation. And I'd been telling her stuff, and it's not that what Becca said was any different from what I said, but she heard it.
Yep.
Right?
All the time.
And
Yep.
so at one point, like, because Becca and we've been best friends ever since I moved to the US. She's my oldest friend here, basically. And I know that, like, our rule is one of us, we can't ever be down at the same time. So it's okay if I'm down, she's up, and vice versa. And that's our rule here at the studio too. If Charles is having a bad day, I cannot. And if I'm having a bad day, Charles cannot. And it's just how it has to work. And it's the same in marriage, right? You just can't. So I've heard enough times when, you know, when something's going on and you're making all the excuses. You're like, well, that's not going to work because of this. Well, what about this? Well, that's not going to work.
Yep.
So we're on a 3-way call with Becca, myself, and Abby. And I start hearing Becca giving Abby suggestions, and I'm giving Abby suggestions, and Abby's coming up with every reason why this isn't going to work or why it's going to work.
Yep.
And it just gets quiet, and I hear Becca say, I'm going to be frank. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. And she just basically put it out there. She's like, if you don't want to hear solutions, if you're not going to, if you're just going to continue to make excuses, then I can't help you. And at some point you do have to be, it's tough love, right?
Yeah.
You've just got to be. But she could hear it from her, and she couldn't hear it from me. And so Becca said, no, you get to be her mama. You get to be the one who said, I'm so sorry. It's hard right now, baby. Let me be the bad guy. Sometimes it's okay to be the bad guy. Mm-hmm. I think that's good. And like with my husband and I, we'll play the bad guy.
Bad cop.
Yeah, with the kids. Sometimes it's okay for you to be the bad guy, and sometimes you get to be the one who just gets to be there and love on him. Like my son right now thinks he's going to buy a house. He's 21.
That's a lofty goal in a really inflated market.
It is, especially given the fact that he's not gone to college. He doesn't have a degree. Like, he's just working. He's working, don't get me wrong, but he wants to buy a house. I am not going to be the one who sits there and tell him, oh, no, that's not going to happen. One of my friends who's a realtor, she's like, you let me have that conversation with him. You let me tell him. You just get to be the mum who dreams with him. And sometimes that's our job, is to sit there and dream with them, and sometimes it's to be the one who has those hard conversations. And I think as a mum, though, you can't avoid the hard conversations because then you're just sugarcoating everything. But
I'm the hard conversation haver.
Yeah.
And usually it's late at night.
Yep.
Because my eldest is my nighttime with me, and she'll just ask me all these thought-provoking questions. She's 40 on the inside, even though she's 10.
Danae was an 80-year-old. We used to say, this may sound bad, but we used to jokingly say she is an 80-year-old black woman. Like she's got soul. She's deep. But she's 80. Like she's been here before or something.
Right.
Like she's just,
The old soul. Rebecca's very intellectual. She's very smart for her age, but socially and emotionally, she's 10.
Yeah.
And it's learning that you don't actually have the filter with which to interpret the world correctly yet. And I am here to be your filter because you're over here and you see things one way, and usually you're the victim in the way that you see things. And I got to tell you, Pumpkin, you're not the victim here. So we need to recategorize how you're examining this. You're over here upset with your little sister because she's doing X, Y, and Z. You and I had a fight about that 2 hours ago. And you were doing that to me. So tell me, how is it not fair? But like a little bit of truth bomb. And motherhood is so interesting. It's like being a therapist. You have to know how to get on your kid's level and stay there and make things that are too big for them to understand make sense. And I love the job. It is absolutely mentally and emotionally draining, especially on those days where they're just like, you know what, we're going to fight today. Today is a fighting day. And then one will go and I finally get that one under control, and the other one will pop off and I finally get that one under control. And then by bedtime, it's we're switching hands. Yes. And what a struggle. I mean, anybody who's never stayed at home with their children 24/7. One of the reasons I think this is such a hard season for me is because God has placed me in places where I'm doing things that are not my strong suit. I see some women and they are crushing the mom game, right? Like they're doing so well. The young toddler age.
But you're also only seeing what they show you and allow you to see.
That's true.
Yeah. But I understand what you're saying.
But they're well suited. Like the idea that you taught elementary school, that is not my jam. Do not put me in an elementary school.
Don't put me in middle school. You couldn't pay me enough.
Middle school, high schoolers, they're my people. They're my people.
The only time I ever got sent to the principal's office, I got sent to the principal's office.
As a teacher?
Yes. Because I was subbing at a school and they were 8th graders and they were taking a test. And in Australia, damn is not a bad word. And so I just got here from Australia, like I'm talking maybe a year in or something.
Okay.
And they're cheating. And I looked at them like, you know damn well you're not supposed to be cheating on this test. And I got called to the principal's office. Now, he laughed about it and everything, but he's like, Mrs. Jones, we're not allowed to say that to the kids here. And I'm like, but they were cheating. So, you can't pay me enough to teach middle school.
And see, for me, middle and high school is where I shine. I was a youth pastor for over a decade. And I love that teenage connection because they know authenticity versus if you're being ingenuine. It's like they've got a nose for it. If you just behave like yourself, you don't have to behave like them unless you want to make them cringe, because that's fun too. Learn their vernacular and then use it against them.
6-7?
No, gosh. I think that's ridiculous.
I still don't understand.
Nobody understands it. It's not supposed to be understood. But things like spill the tea or just using their words against them and just making them roll their eyes but laugh, because I'm not I'm clearly not trying to be cool when I do it. But connecting with them on their level, creating trust, creating relationship, and then let's go deeper. I'm so good at those conversations with other people's kids. I'm good at those conversations with my kids, but there's a different there's a different barrier there because I'm their mom.
Yeah, for sure.
I was the one that was like your friend who got to talk to Abigail and lay it flat and lay it true. And they would listen because I'm not their mom. But now I'm in the position where I'm good at those conversations, but I'm the mom. And they are not as interested in hearing wisdom from me necessarily.
Well, you're not going to really know anything. You will. In the back of your mind, they know, but you're really not going to know anything until they're mid-20s probably.
I was about 15 or 16 when I came back to my mom. I was about 15 or 16. And so, I call her sometimes now and I apologize. I'm sorry, Mom.
I remember the first time I had a student, and I was working in an after-school program or something, and this little girl was so horrible and mean and just nasty. And she was probably in 5th grade. And so it was just an after school program. And she was so ugly, like the words that came out of her mouth. And I remember going home and calling my mum and saying, I am so sorry. I understand now what you were talking about. And I was in my early 20s. I think I just took a lot for granted when I was younger.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know until you get older and you look back and go, oh.
Yeah. Ooh, that probably wasn't the wisest thing for me to do. So
perspective.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions about working with your dad, because otherwise we could sit here and talk about family and kids all day long. When did you first realize that singing wasn't just something you liked, but something you wanted to share with people? Was that an aha moment for you, or did it just kind of gradually sneak up on you?
It was a gradual sneak up, but what people probably wouldn't expect is that I had terrible stage fright. So I was I knew that I had a gift for singing. I knew that I was good at it. But I wouldn't, it sounded, it didn't sound humble to admit that to people. But I always knew that I was a good singer. I was too scared to do it on my own. I would get my heart starts thudding and pounding, and then I couldn't get a deep enough breath. And I was worried that when I performed by myself solo, that people would not hear what I actually sounded like because the fear was creating such a response. My voice would shake or whatever. So I actually shied away from the spotlight. I did not want to go out for the solos. I did not want to do anything on my own. I preferred to be in a choir. Every now and then I would try out for something, but I was so nervous when the moment came to perform that I was afraid I'd botch it all. So I didn't do a whole lot of solo trying out for things until Dad and I started our thing together. And Dad also has the same experience, stage fright. He had played for years and years in a band, but they're 12-piece band. So he's one instrument on a stage full of many.
Yeah.
And so once you are the only instrument that's keeping the rhythm and the melody going, and I'm the only singer that's there, and the attention is on both of us, we really dealt with stage fright in those first 6 months to a year. And gradually, the more we did it and the more we made mistakes and realized that those mistakes did not make people want to run from our performances, that people understood live music sometimes has faux pas. Sometimes you started a song and it was wrong, and then I forgot the first verse and we had to stop and I had to regroup and figure out, okay, what were the lyrics to that first song? And you start again. People don't care. Yeah. Nobody's like, wow, they really suck at their job. Yeah. It's human to be imperfect. And once you got over that, I haven't had stage fright ever since. It's been really one of the most freeing things, because the more often that you do it for an audience and you realize the stakes are not that high. Hey, you're not that cool.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, it's kind of like when you think everybody's watching you, but really nobody's watching you.
They're not watching you. Yeah. Except for maybe at the stoplight. Don't pick your nose at stoplights.
Yeah,
I see that all the time. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, I think there are so many people who have beautiful, big gifts and talents that they refuse to put out there for other people to see because that fear has kept them from sharing it with the world, because they want it to be perfect. They know they're good and it might not be good all the time. And if you're one of those people who might be listening to this podcast, you have got to pursue those gifts and those talents in healthy ways and get beyond the fear.
Yeah.
Because your purpose is rooted in those talents. And if you're held back from using those gifts and talents for the purpose that your life was intended, you will miss out on so much blessing.
So many.
And so much beauty. Who knows that first, 22 years of my life, what I could have done if I hadn't been so afraid. What else would I have tried to do? What else would I have gone and attempted if I hadn't had the fear holding me back of perfection? Because perfection is a cruel...
Oh, yeah.
It's a cruel idea. Yeah. There's no perfection in life.
No. I think you said something really interesting. It's not humble to know that you're good.
when I was younger. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. It
Yeah.
would be too humble to admit.
I think as Christians, a lot of Christians, and I find this in business. I've run across a lot of Christian business owners who don't charge their worth. There's almost like a poverty mentality in it, and I really struggle. I don't personally struggle with that. It doesn't make me angry, but at the same time, I'm like, God can't use you. Why is it okay for evil people to have money, or people who don't have the will of, believe the will of God, whatever, they're getting all the money to do what they want to do with the money? Why would God not want you to have money so that he can use you for that? Like,
Amen.
I have
Hallelujah.
conversations with Christian business owners all the time. Like, you're not meant to be broke and poor and give people things for free.
Yep.
Like, charge your worth. God gave you a gift and a talent. Like, he can use you so much more, and he can do, like, benefit his kingdom so much more if you go out and charge your worth and have the money to be able to then go in and put into programs and bless other people with it and stuff like that. But if you're just barely making your bills.
Generosity and then stewardship of what you've been
Yes.
given. Those two things have fallen by the wayside. It is not a sin to be wealthy. Because I think about this story. My daughter, Rebecca, was probably 5. And we were at a church, and there was a lady in our church whose home had had something happen to it, and they needed to renovate part of the home in order for it to be livable again. And they had asked the church if anybody was able to donate time, materials, money, all those things. And we had added her to our prayer list at home. So we were praying about this lady and getting her house fixed up. And I had given some money, of course, in the church. And she said, well, how much do they need? And she ran off. She got her piggy bank. And she pulled everything out of that piggy bank. And she said, will this be enough? And I put it in a bag. I said, that is perfect. Thank you so
Exact
much.
amount.
That's so. And when I gave it to that woman specifically, I told her the story. I said, everything's going to be okay, but I want you to know my daughter ran to her piggy bank to give you what was in it because she wants you to have your house livable, and we're praying for you.
Yeah.
And the story was just so big. But you know what it made me want to do as a parent? It made me want to give Rebecca more money.
Yeah.
I wanted to give her
Right.
more because if her heart is, this person needs it
Yeah.
more than I do, here you go.
Yeah.
Well, let me bless you with more then.
And I feel like God's up there saying the same thing.
Absolutely.
If you just get out of your own way, or if
Get
you-
out of your own way.
Yeah.
Use the gifts and talents I've given you. It's not a sin to make money as long as what you're doing with that money honors him and his kingdom and your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with
No,
you.
I actually, it wasn't until a couple of years ago, I read a book called Profit First, and it's written by a Jewish rabbi. And it was phenomenal. Like, it was, look in the Bible. Like, he actually points out scripture in the Bible of how we're supposed to, the money that we're supposed to get and how we're supposed to use the money. And we were never, ever, I don't know where that mentality and that martyrish misconception is.
I will say that just like our children all have different strengths and different personalities and different things, I do believe that there are some people, some children in God's kingdom that were not meant, maybe, to be overly wealthy. I think it is okay if you've lived a very moderate life and
yeah.
you've never had tons of
Very
stuff.
modest,
Maybe you're
yeah.
blessing people with your service.
Yeah.
I'm really good at cleaning houses and organizing. That's something I started my own business when I was 17 to pay the bills. Okay, and what I learned how to do was clean hoarders' houses and help people organize their stuff and get things going from the ground up. Basically, get their houses together.
But you know what? That is not a gift of mine.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because what's a gift of mine is I'm not gifted at photography.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
That whole artsy side it's not my thing.
Yeah.
We just have to know where is
Right.
it our strengths lie.
Yeah.
And sometimes God asks you to make money with it. And sometimes he asks you to bless people with
Yes,
that talent.
exactly.
And you just have to know the difference. Is this
Exactly.
one of those moments where I'm pro bonoing this because I feel the tug? Or is this a moment I'm making money because it says the grain, don't muzzle the oxen when he trods out the grain. The ox is supposed to be able to eat while he's plowing your fields.
Yeah.
Because if you don't feed him, he doesn't have the strength to get
Yeah.
through the field. So you have to be able to make money and also you have to be generous with what you've been given.
100%.
Both are true.
And we get paid well for what we do, but that allows us to then in turn around and bless other people. We have multiple throughout the year. Like we have people ask us all the time, do you have discounts and stuff like that? And we said no. And we were military for 21 years, so it's very, very common to ask for a military discount, right?
Yes.
And so when people ask, I don't ever get offended by it, but I say we don't. But what we do, we get paid really well so that we can give free and we can donate and we can do for others. Yes. And you paying me allows that to happen. So we just do it a little bit differently. But yeah, I think it's amazing.
It is amazing
for you to be able to do that. When was there? Do you remember a specific moment? Like I know that you said that moment when you realized that you were really good at what you did. It kind of came gradually. But do you remember being on stage or a specific something where you're like, I'm really good at this?
And it's a good question. But I wouldn't say that any of the performances necessarily stick out. What stick out are the people that come up after the performances. It's never really the moment of performing. It's who it touched on the backside of the story.
That makes perfect sense.
I'll remember days where we were at a winery and it appears like no one's listening. Right. We're glorified background music. It's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to drink, have a conversation with your friend, eat the cheese and crackers you brought, and listen to some songs that don't make you want to throw tomatoes at the musicians. That's our goal.
Okay.
Is to set the mood. And afterwards, I remember there have been so many times I've called a song on our set list. Just because we call them as we see them. It's a different set every time. I don't have a structured list. We're going to do this first and that next. Sometimes I'll just throw a song in there we haven't done in a while. And I don't know why I'm calling that song. And then afterwards, I'll have someone come up and say, I'm here because I'm grieving a year of my husband's passing. And you played our song. And it was this song. And I just wanted you to know, I didn't expect to hear that when I came here today, but you were a little love note from God to me. And then I'm weeping and we're hugging. Those are the moments that make a difference. Wow. I see you and your father doing music. That's special for a lot of people. I see you and your father doing music. It reminds me when I was with my dad and this is what we did. And it just has blessed me immensely to see you two work together today. And thank you for that. That's when I realized that what we do is so much more than standing on stage and singing music and playing the piano. It is. Yeah. It's about the people that God puts in the audience, and maybe it's just one. And maybe it's 7. You wouldn't believe how many times we end a show and then people that we didn't even realize were listening, they just come out of the woodwork and they want to talk to us before we're done.
Do you have is there any one specific location that you play the most often?
The Williamsburg Inn was where we played most often.
Okay.
For a couple years, 80% of our gigs were at the Williamsburg Inn, and that was a really big spot for us. Yeah. Like I said, I'm in a season of transition. Yeah. Right around the fall, they reached out for all of next year's, like, hey, what are your availabilities for next year? Send us your dates. And then within 2 or 3 days of that, they fired all of their musicians. And I think they closed one of their restaurants. And I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. But obviously, financially, music is not something that they can support at the moment. And so that took out 80% of what we typically do. So now, Williamsburg Inn aside, we play a lot of wineries. Okay.
Local wineries. Lots in New Kent.
So there's Jolene Family Winery and Saudi Creek Winery. It's hard. We have fewer gigs now than we have in the last couple of years because all of our weekends were taken up by the Williamsburg Inn. And so now we're kind of calling our old clientele base and getting some of those things back. But I also know that this transition, this tapering off may be intentional, that God may be leading us.
You just can't see it yet.
Well, I think I can. Last spring, I remember we were singing on the patio at the Williamsburg Inn, and I was in the middle of the song, and I felt this whisper in my heart, I hope that you're treasuring these moments because you don't know how long they'll last. And I almost cried in the middle of the song. I knew it was God. And I thought, what does that mean? And here we are, 2026, where we had assumed, just about every weekend would be booked. And we have a much much lighter schedule. It's not gone, but my dad is 69 now.
Yeah.
And he carries all these keyboards and all of the equipment and the big speakers and the loading in and the loading out. He almost tripped once and had a really nasty fall. And it made me rethink, like, how long can we really continue to do this? So maybe the season of transition, we do less out. Maybe we do more recording. I don't know. I know it will continue.
It's just going to look different.
It's going to look different. We can't do the things that we've always done for always.
Yeah.
Seasons change. And I think we're in a season of transition for our business as well.
Wow. That's exciting, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know what he's going to do different. I don't know what it all means, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. You're up for it.
I'm up for it.
Was this something that you thought you would be doing as a child?
When I was a kid, I don't know that I ever knew you could make money with music.
Okay. You said Dad was always playing at home.
Dad always played the piano at home.
Did he ever play out?
He
gigs
did.
And stuff? Because I know you said he was with the band.
He was with Slapwater or Slap Nation
Okay.
for 14 to 17 years. They were a rock and soul band. They were really popular.
Yeah.
And I know they're still around. They're still playing. He and I took over and did more things. But when I was younger, he didn't play out much. He was a pilot until he had a rare cancer when I was about 7. And was, what he says, a guinea pig at NIH for 5 years.
Wow.
And cured pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
It was a very 1 per million tumor that they happened to find on his pancreas. And usually by the time they find it,
it's too
late. Yeah. And that's a God story. You'll have to talk to him.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
do you remember it happening, like as a child?
I remember the sickness. There were a couple weeks that we spent with my grandparents while he was receiving all sorts of treatment at NIH. I remember he wrote me a letter that I treasured. I have a stuffed animal that I always slept with. That was a tough time as a kid.
Yeah.
When your dad's sick.
Yeah.
But he lost his career as a pilot. And after he lost his career, his emotional health kind of spiraled. We say midlife crisis. And then, of course, the emotional turned into marital, turned into monetary, it was just kind of a cascade effect of hot mess.
Yeah.
And so our family, from probably when I was 8 or 9 on, looked a little different until, of course, there was divorce, and then there were all sorts of other hurdles and obstacles.
Yeah.
But, gosh, I forgot the original question that you asked me.
Is this what you expected?
Is this what I expected?
Kid?
So,
and then I distracted you with the
no, it's okay.
7 and 8-year-old.
Good questions.
Sorry.
I'm over here turning into a puddle.
No, you're good.
My bad. But as a kid, I didn't know that. I thought maybe that Broadway. I thought I'd be a traveler. I like change, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't like that. I like to change things up. I like to do different things. There was a part of me that wondered if I would do stage plays, theater. I really enjoy that too. When I was 17, I was Belle in Beauty and the Beast for one of our community theater plays, and it was so fun. I beat out a 22-year-old for the part, by the way, and it was just one of the greatest experiences. It was the one time in my youth I remember I didn't have stage fright because I wasn't me on stage.
I
was Belle.
Persona.
I was someone else, and so instead of being frightened, I was someone else.
Wow.
I put on somebody else. I walked onto stage, and it didn't matter so much if I messed up a song or if I messed up a line. I was in it. And she's my favorite Disney character, Disney story anyway. But for all sorts of reasons. She looked past the exterior.
Yeah.
She loved the Beast regardless of his physical appearance. She loved books. She sacrificed herself for her dad. There's a lot of good things going for Belle, okay? But no, I never expected to be where I am. I never expected to be living in the same town that I grew up in. I always thought that I would travel and go different places, and I assumed I would marry an extrovert like myself, and that we would just go and we would light up the room and the parties, and we would be the life of the town. That's what I thought. That was not the plan.
I thought I would stay where I grew up. I'm one of multiple grandchildren on my mum's side. Like, we all grew up, we went to same school. We saw each other every weekend. Like, we were
more
really,
like siblings.
really close. Yes. And here I am halfway around the world by myself and married to somebody who could probably go a week without talking to me. If not for any bad reason, but he won't speak unless he has some reason to talk. You know what I mean? He's not just going to. I will talk for the sake of silence. He is fine to not talk unless it's important. So we jokingly, when we first moved here and we started going to Bible study and stuff, he couldn't come to the first meeting, and we were going around the group introducing ourselves. And I said, "You listen to every fifth word I say. But if Doug speaks, listen to every word he says because he has thought about it and he's intentional. Whereas me, I say things just to hear my own voice sometimes, I swear. But, yeah, he's very wise. He's very wisdomous. I know that's not a word, but he has very good – I think he has the gift of what is it?
Discernment?
Discernment.
Yeah.
He has the gift of discernment. So he'll be able to, like, you need to be careful with them.
Yes.
You know, and I'm like, oh, you're just being silly. And then they end up doing something. And I was like, you were right. I hate it when he's right, but he's always right.
I'm the golden retriever.
Yes.
And he is the Doberman pinscher. Just in the corner, like, I don't know that I trust you yet.
Yep.
Guilty until proven innocent.
100%. And so I'm always, if he tells me, you probably don't need to be spending that much time with them, then I get upset about it because they're fun, but then he's usually always right. So that is something that as I've gotten older, I've learned to lean in on that kind of wisdom for sure.
My husband's my boundary maker. He sets boundaries where I would otherwise go off the deep end. Yeah. And it took a really long time to figure out that those boundaries were good for me.
And for your safety. Yeah.
They were for my were for my good because
it was in love. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I'll say
it's not to make life boring or to be
Yeah, it's for our betterment because sometimes they can see things we can't.
Yep.
And that's a picture of God in and of itself too, is the rules that are in the Bible. Some people buck against them, but the truth is they're there because there's dangers behind those things that we can't see, that we might get tangled up in.
And really, if you focus on the things you can do more than the can'ts, you're really too busy anyway.
So true.
Yeah.
Did having two girls soften him at all? Because I noticed a big change from my husband having two little girls.
Having a girl period, because he's the eldest of 5 boys and 1 sister. Right? He's a softie at heart. He won't like show it kind of thing. When we had Danae, we had her in Florida, and I literally went in for a checkup, and they're like, you're 4 centimeters dilated, and I had her 9 minutes later. I didn't have time. I said to the nurse,
oh, that's right, because she was early.
Yeah,
like
31 weeks. I said to the nurse, am I going to have, as they're wheeling me back, am I going to have an epidural? She's like, oh, sweetie, that's so cute. Do you think you've got time? Like, I remember having Danae. There were nurses in the corner praying for her as she was being born. They were holding hands, praying in a military hospital.
Beautiful.
She was so early that they couldn't even keep her there because they couldn't keep babies under 34 weeks alive at that facility. They literally flew a Learjet from Mississippi to pick Danae up to take her back to Mississippi, and that's where she was at Keesler Air Force Base for 7 weeks. And my husband left me in the hospital and drove over to Mississippi so that we would have somebody there with her. He couldn't go on the flight because they bought an extra nurse or an extra doctor or something, but he drove the 3 hours or however long it was there, and then our pastor and his wife picked me up the next morning and drove me over. So I just remember that night being in the hospital bed in a joint room with another mum who has a baby. She's exhausted, tired. My baby, I don't even know if my baby's alive. And I'm in this room with, instead of getting a private room, like you don't think about it at the time, because at the time I'm just so excited that I've got a baby. That I wasn't thinking about it, but hindsight was like, they left me in a room with a woman who had a baby. She slept the whole night. I was the one who got up and put the dummy or the passy back in the baby's mouth and took care and picked the baby up and held the baby because she slept through the whole thing. But I was just on cloud 9 that I had this little baby. Anyway, But when we got to Mississippi, he was just a puddle. Like he would anything for that little girl, anything. So I don't think it was necessarily the two girls. But again, like I said, I didn't see him necessarily cry. We just didn't think anything bad was going to happen to her. Like, yeah, there was a lot of things that could have happened. But I think that was the very first time that I ever felt like that promise in the Bible where it says the peace that surpasses all understanding. It was like we were sheltered from the things that could happen. Like she had to have blood transfusions, like so many different things. But we were just, I don't know whether it was naivety, we were young, whatever. We just didn't think anything bad was going to happen. We just believed. And that, but I think if we knew all the bad things that could happen, but God just protected us and kept us just naive or whatever the believing. I don't know what the word was, but that peace, I remember that peace very, very distinctly in those moments. But then, like I said earlier, the only time I ever really saw him cry was at his dad's funeral and when we handed our foster baby back to his mum. So I don't know he's definitely a softie. Oh my gosh, that grandbaby of ours, he can get anything he wants.
Oh, I'm sure.
And let me tell you, grandbabies, that's where it's at.
That's what I hear.
That's where it's at.
That's what I hear.
You know why? Because with us, it's like with our kids, we're the sole responsibility.
Yes.
With the grandbabies, we just get to have all the fun.
Yes.
Like, yes, you still not parent, but you indirectly, but you're more, I don't know. We would do anything for those grandbabies.
You get to do things with them that you didn't, that you would have done with your own children had you not had all the responsibility of carrying everything.
Yes, absolutely.
I am looking 100%. Forward one day.
And it is the reward of not killing those teenagers when you really wanted to be like,
let them live.
Oh, it's the blessing for sure afterwards.
We're so close to that. I always told Jesus that he needed to come back before I had 2 teenage girls. And so we're closing in on that. Just be prepared. Yeah. I'm saying that was my prayer. So
all right.
Watch the clouds.
I'm a pre-tribber, so I'm just like, God knows I am not about to fight for anything. I will be like, you just take me home.
Yep.
And I'll watch from above, and all my friends who are battles, they'll battle it out. Like my friend Amber, she's like, nope, post-tribbing. I'm going to be there. I'm going to fight the whole thing.
She wants the army boots and everything.
Absolutely.
Chop my head off. Okay.
Up.
Love her.
Yeah. I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. Like, God knows I'm non-confrontational. I am like, nope, you take me home. Yeah. I'll watch from the comfort of the clouds. I am all about that life.
I'm with you on that. My hope is for pre-trib.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared.
Yeah, we will.
Post, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you do what you got to do when you got to do it.
You got to do what you got to do.
That's funny. Yeah. All right. So you perform. I'm trying to get us back on task. Because I could just sit here and talk all day.
Same. Loving it.
You don't just perform at like the hotels or anything. You do weddings. I know you've done our Christmas party a couple of years for the chamber, which everybody loves, by the way, which we will have you back this year. And when you leave, I will let you know it's going to be down at the Freight Shed this year.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's a beautiful
So Charles
venue.
will be outside in the cold tent. Aww. But we're going to have to try and have you inside.
Oh, I'll bring you a sweater.
They have heaters.
And he'll be fine. Okay,
he'll be all right. He'll be fine. But we'll try and get you inside, obviously, just because that's where everybody will be and that's where we need the sound.
Right.
So where else do you perform? What other kind of things do you do?
It's a lot of, like I said, a lot of wineries. We are really great mood setters. We are a step above elevator music. So we play classics. We play the old jazz standards. We play newer songs as well. So we've got we run the gamut, but we're a really great mood setter where you are having a conversation and then you go, oh, I know that song. And you'll sing a little bit along and you can go back to your conversation. Mm-hmm. Our niche has been allowing people to enjoy the mood without feeling like they're at a rock concert and that they have to pay attention to the band.
Yeah, because you can still have conversations.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And music has to have some volume, otherwise why be there?
Yeah. And
we do allow the people who like, hey, turn up. All right, we'll turn up for you. But our goal is not to blast sound in your ears all night. And we want you to listen when you want to listen, like you can hear it if you want to, but not be bowled over by it.
Yeah, they're not there for you.
They're not there for me. Nobody bought a ticket to come see me sing. That's the truth.
Some people might.
Maybe. But I don't need the ticket.
Yeah,
like I said, it's about the people. It's not about, it's not necessarily even about the fact that I'm a decent singer and my dad's got magic fingers at the piano. The best part is we get to do this together and that people enjoy it and they pay us for it. How great is that?
Doesn't it feel weird sometimes? Because I know one of my biggest struggles when I first started photography was, I shouldn't be getting paid this much because it's so easy. But not everybody can take the photos. Like,
there's time.
Yes.
You have to account for your time. You have to account for your expenses. You have a studio to run. You have people that work for you. You have equipment to buy and to update.
Yep.
You have storage. You have
all the things.
People need to be paid for the services they provide, especially in the arts.
But it does feel weird to get paid for something that comes so naturally and easily.
It does.
Yeah. But you know how you were saying earlier something about your daughter, my middle daughter, Abigail, she wanted to learn how to use the camera. I'm a teacher.
Yes.
Guess who can't teach her daughter to keep?
I couldn't teach Rebecca how to sing.
Yes, that's right.
They don't want to hear it from me.
Yes. So in my case, it was more the fact that I just know how to do it. What do you mean you don't?
Yes, and that's true too.
It's hard because, and I paid somebody to teach Abigail how to use the camera. Charles, I've got the background in education. I have the bachelor's in education.
Mm-hmm.
Charles is the one that I will have teach how to use a camera because there's a disconnect from me because I just know how to use the camera. Whereas Charles will walk them through all the technical parts of it. And I'm just like, I just know how to use it. I don't know. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
it's almost like people teaching other people how to draw. Some people, they don't even know how or why they draw or paint the way they do. It comes naturally.
Yes.
And those gifts that flow, that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And I think that we live in a society that doesn't always realize or respect or even practice those gifts anymore. We're so busy with other things that the artsy side of ourselves dries up a little bit because we're so hands-on in other areas. So anytime that you can find an outlet to practice that thing that flows naturally for you, you've got to do it. For me, I'm a teacher, actually. So I talked to you about worship directing. I just happen to be a musician who can lead a group.
Yep.
But worship directing is not my forte. All of the details, all of the dates, all of the keeping things in a row and connecting and putting things together and assimilating, making sure the volunteers, I'm doing it, or I did it. I was decently good at it. I organized the program. I got it. But left to my own devices, I would not choose that job.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to teach a Bible study, I'm here for that. I got 360 ready-made messages that I write down while I'm reading because they just come to me. The parables that are in real life that connect biblical wisdom to real life in this century.
Yeah.
That just happens naturally. You could ask me to do that all day long. But you've got to find ways and outlets and places to practice those giftings or else they dry up. You don't use it, you 100%. Lose it.
So when I was a teenager, I was a worship leader at our church. I would sing, I'd travel around, did all of the things. Yeah, but I've not sung in a long, long time. And so
it's never too late
it's
to
something
try.
that does definitely dry up.
Turn the radio up.
And then say,
sing in the shower. Everybody sounds good in the shower.
Yeah, I know.
Your studio's nice. You could sing in the studio.
I could.
Yeah,
it's just been a really long time. But again, like it was something that just happened. It was just natural. But I had the stage fright.
Oh yeah,
that was
awful.
That was real for realsies. Like that was, and as a teenager, you don't ever want anybody to look at you or think anything's bad or that you screwed up or anything. So it's there's a lot going on there. But yeah, as an adult, like we sang at church, and I was on the worship team all the way up until we moved here. Over in Hawaii, I was on the church band, like the church worship team, and so yeah, it's always been a part of who I am and everything. So I enjoy it, but I just don't sing anymore. So, do you have a favorite song?
We have over time, and it's always changing.
Okay, what is it currently?
It's a moving target. Right now, we love. There's 2 songs done by Sarah Barry Ellis. She redid them. One is Elton John, Yellow Brick Road. Sarah Barry Ellis redid that, so it's piano and voice alone. Okay. The piano difficulty is high, the vocal difficulty is high, and when we do it and we nail it, there's this moment.
Yeah.
There's just a moment. Like Dad will get he'll get a little choked up sometimes. Because we're doing hard things we never thought that we would do, and performing in front of people who want to hear us perform. And the best part about doing this with my dad is even if nobody else is listening, we're listening to each other.
Of course.
Sometimes Dad will go into a lick he's never tried before, and I'll look over and I'll be, oh, I like that, because you've got the freedom. It's an artistic expression. So the Sarah Bareilles, Yellow Brick Road, and then there's one called it's a song from The Waitress, which is another Sarah Bareilles, but it's from a stage play.
Okay.
And I think the play is The Waitress, but the lyrics are powerful. The music is powerful. It gets me a little bit choked up. Those are our two favorites right now. But it has taken on we've had many different favorites over the years.
Do you have a favorite singer that you lean towards?
No. Well, my voice, I'm told that I sound like Norah Jones. When I sing Norah Jones, people go, oh my gosh, that was a dead ringer for Norah Jones. Yeah. And the truth is I listened to her as a moody teenager for a long time. So, I mean, she was my go-to. Her first album, you'd like Candles and be moody in your room as a teenager. That was Norah Jones for me. Okay. But
because you have quite the vocal range, don't you?
I do sing a lot of variety. Yeah. Do everything from Elton John and Frank Sinatra and Chicago and Billy Joel. We do all that to Adele and Billie Holiday and Norah Jones. Yeah. We just kind of pick all the songs we like, and if it's in a bad key, we change it so that I can sing it in the key.
Do you typically have to go up or down?
Depends. So if it's a male singer, sometimes we have to bring it up a little bit because it's too low. And if it's a really high female vocalist, we got to bring it down a little bit because I'm an alto.
Yeah, I am an alto as well.
Yeah, we altos.
Is there anything that you're excited for right now, other than the fact that you're in the middle of change?
I love the change. I'm hoping that we will do some more recording because the best part of the recordings is that I get to keep them forever. They're for me. They're for us to look back on. They're for my girls.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of legacy.
It is, and it's a testimony to what our relationship has become out of the ashes of what it was.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about Brokey, because that's really how we kind of came to.
Did you find out about us through Uncle Brokey?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, that's right, because he hired you to come and do the recordings and the photographs. Yeah. Yes, that's right.
I just think it's lovely that he puts in his backyard, and he has you guys come and sing, and he just brings in all of his friends. That to me was beautiful.
Uncle Brokey is, or I should call it Brokey Graham, is one of the most generous and unique people I've ever met in my whole life. He was widowed. It's probably 15 years ago now. He and his wife built this big, beautiful house on the water to entertain their friends and their family, and she died very shortly after it was completed.
Didn't he name it after her or something?
Berkeley Point. Yes, her name was Berkeley. And so he had this big, beautiful house, and all of his kids are grown and having grandchildren, and now he's alone in this big, beautiful house that was supposed to be their retirement place where they could live out their days. And they used to travel a lot to see musicians. They loved to follow live music. And it was something they'd always done together. He told this story the very first time he had a backyard party where we were there. He told this story, and we'd never heard it. When Berkeley died, he turned off the music. He couldn't even listen to the radio. He couldn't go and see live music anymore. And he had just started, I guess it had been 5 or 6 or 7 years, he had just started letting the music back into his life because it had been such a painful reminder. And he came to the Tides Inn. I don't know if you know where that is, out in Irvington. Yep. Came to the Tides Inn one night, and we were on the patio playing there. And I was, I think, 8 months pregnant. I was enormous. And must have been with my second child. So this was 8 or 9 years ago. So I'm enormous pregnant, and he walks in and he sits down, and we do this song, Dad and I, called To Make You Feel My Love. And Adele redid it. That's the most popular version. And we were doing that song, and we always dedicate that song to each other, Dad and I, because the lyrics very much represent our relationship with each other now. And he said, when I listened to you all perform that song, something broke on the inside in a good way. And he said, I knew you had something special, and I wanted to follow it, and I wanted to support what you were doing. And he has been our biggest cheerleader ever since. He has done so many beautiful things for our family, generous things. And he's been, I made him a shirt, vice president of the fan club, or the president of the fan club. And but he calls places and see if they'll, he advertises
he shows
for
up
us.
When you perform too, right?
Whenever he can make it, he's there.
Yeah.
He has private parties at his house with us, and he's had twice
is
now.
Is that really how you met him?
That's really how I met him.
Wow. I felt like he was legitimately an uncle of yours.
No.
That's how close.
No, we met him there, and then he started coming to see us, and he would bring people to our gigs, and then he would have us at his house. And at some point, I don't remember, but I just love people. And so when I found out he was widowed, and for Valentine's Day, and his birthday was around Valentine's Day, I had said, oh, well, what do you usually do on Valentine's Day? Or what do you usually do for your birthday? He said, strawberry shortcake. It was like a family tradition for his mom to make those biscuit, strawberry shortcakes, cut them in half, strawberries and whipped cream. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make you strawberry shortcake for your birthday this year. And so we planned a place to meet. I brought the strawberry shortcake. I introduced him to my girls, and we had strawberry shortcake, and it was just like family.
Yeah.
And then there was another. Might have even been that same year. At the very end of that year, he wasn't going to be able to spend Christmas with his family. And I said, well, you're not going to spend Christmas alone, are you? And he goes, well, I don't really have any plans. I said, nope, you're coming to my house for Christmas. And so he spent that Christmas morning with my family. And ever since then, I think a lot of Christmases, most of the time, he'll come.
Yeah.
Even if it's later in the day or whatever, he'll come and stop by. He was here this Christmas. But anyway, we've adopted him as family. He's been our greatest cheerleader.
Yeah. I think everybody needs one.
It's amazing because we're not very good at advertising.
Yeah.
We've never really hoofed it. We're not trying to make this a bigger business because I've got several irons in the fire and Dad's getting older. We can't really build the business at this point. It's more just continuing what we've done.
And word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yeah. We want to go where people want us, but we're not trying to get rich or famous.
Yeah. No, I just remember when he came in, I honestly thought he was your dad's brother. That's how close I felt that he was a part of your family. He's been there forever.
He is, yeah.
So
it feels like forever. It's been at least 8 years.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Probably closing in on 9.
Does he have a favorite song of yours?
To Make You Feel My Love, Falling in Love with You, Can't Help Falling in Love with You. He doesn't like Pennies from Heaven. Apparently, that was a song that in his college days, one of his roommates used to aggravate him with on purpose. So sometimes just to get his goat, we'll play Pennies from Heaven. And this one goes out to Brokey, and we'll play Pennies from Heaven. But anyway, funny. He's got a couple favorites. Yeah. He'll always keep a little list with him on a yellow notepad, and he'll call it out.
He bought it in. And when he was going through, because Charles had to do all the sound and all of that kind of stuff, he was very particular about what he wanted and didn't want.
He has very particular ways. He is a man of set ways.
Okay, so as a performer, how important is your image and presence off stage, online or in marketing materials and stuff like that for promotion?
I think for people who are really good at promoting themselves, it's very important. And even though Dad and I are not really good at pushing ourselves and pushing for promotional materials and trying to get more gigs at this time, that what we do promote and what we do put out there, the image is important because you get a feeling of who the people are and who you're hiring based on what they put forward.
Yeah.
If it's flashy and bright colors and you're expecting something lively and excitable. And Dad and I are more mellow. We're an easy listening type.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to hire us for your dance band at your wedding. That's a wrong fit. Yes. We are not a dance band. Yes. We are a cocktail hour band, and we know that. And so advertising has to go along with who the people are.
The vibe's got to be right.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of photo shoots?
No.
No?
In fact, the pictures that you've used, I love those. The only other time I can think of doing a photo shoot was maybe 8 or 9 years before that. We had somebody connected to one of the venues that we played, and he was a server there, but also a photographer, and we had some photos taken by him. And then when we did our first CD 11 years ago, we had a friend of mine who was gifted in photography take some photos of us, but that's it.
Wow.
And part of the problem is that I, over the last decade, have not loved myself in photos at all. Yeah.
That's just personal.
Yeah. It's personal. I'm sure nobody would look at those photos and think, oh my gosh. But I am seeing the change in myself over long periods of time. And for me, it's been harder in the last 8 years.
Since being a mom.
Yes. I would say being pregnant in photos was not a problem. Yeah. Being pregnant and having kids, and there was a short period of time where I was the most fit I've ever been in my whole life. Between kid 1 and kid 2, I had about 6 months where I was fit and trim for the first time in my whole life.
That's why you got kid 2.
Right. And then my husband knocked me up. So I got to keep...
Because you look so good.
I know. I got to keep that really fit body for like 3 months. And then we had another baby, and that's okay. And then I was diagnosed in my early 20s with a hormonal condition. And a lot of its effects and symptoms are very visible. And I have attempted to manage them for the better part of a decade with lifestyle and with diet. And I'm now 37. And I'm still not winning the battle. And I think just this year and last year, after feeling like I've tried everything, I'm throwing some more ammo at it. And I'm starting to see results, which is nice. But
I feel like sometimes it doesn't matter how much you do. Like, because when I hit menopause, it didn't matter what I did. Didn't matter how much I worked out. It didn't matter what I ate. Nothing worked. It's like just when you think you figure it out, life throws something else at you.
Don't tell me that. I've been trying. I've been trying since I was 16.
Yeah, no,
and it's so horrible.
It is. It's hard. And as a female performer, like, you're up in front of other people. Like, how hard is that? Like, do you feel that pressure to look a certain way?
Oh yeah, and I think that comes with any woman.
Yeah,
not just.
I agree.
It doesn't involve performance aside.
Yeah.
When you walk out into the world, there's a little part of every woman who's a little girl that just wants to be pretty.
Yeah.
And
well, you're beautiful.
Well, isn't that kind of you to say?
That's true, though.
That's very thoughtful. I wish that my inner dialogue was as gracious to myself.
We're our own worst critics.
As other women are. Because other women, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. That's very kind of you. But when I look in the mirror, I see the flaws based on this hormonal condition that I have. Of course, weight is an issue. Acne is an issue. There's all sorts of other things. And it's so visible. Yeah. The struggle is something everyone can see. And when I see myself in pictures, that the struggle is very, very real.
Yeah.
Because over time, I'm losing the battle, or have been.
Yeah. But are you losing the battle?
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I'm losing the battle. And there are some women I watch, and they're so comfortable in their curvy bodies. We'll call it curvy bodies. I am not at all comfortable. Yeah. When I look in the mirror, I don't see myself anymore. It doesn't look like me. Yeah. Now, I've had acne since I was in 5th grade, and that's, again, a result of this hormonal imbalance that I've been living with. I was even in a Proactive commercial when I was 23. Yeah. Because it worked so well for me. But who can afford Proactive?
Proactive's really strong too.
It's so expensive. It worked when I was a teenager, but now on mature skin, it's not the same effectiveness. But they did fly me out to Hollywood to be in a Proactive commercial, which was super fun.
Look at you.
Yeah, I've not been able to get a hold of those things. And there's this vain part on the inside of me that just wants to be neutral. I don't need to be a supermodel on, I'm not looking to look good in a bikini on camera. I just want to fit in my pants. That's all. That's all I want to do. And so as a performer and physically putting myself out there when sometimes I don't want to step in front of the world, that is a humbling experience. And I think for anybody else who's in a very public position where your job involves your face or your body being the first impression, I am certain they have all the same thoughts that I have. Mm-hmm. They have all the same struggles that I have. And I wish I had that confidence of those people who just do not give a care. I've seen some people and they are just fabulous and happy, and I love that. Yeah. And I want to be that person. I'm not that person. Yeah. No matter how hard I try, my knees are starting to hurt. You know, it's too much. Yeah. So I'm going to keep battling. The most recent thing I've tried is working. But I am so hesitant to try some of those weight loss drugs and those things. They scare me a lot. Yeah. Like I that's why I've never done medications before, because I feel like there's got to be a way to fix it with stuff that's supposed to be in my body. Are you
going to just a regular doctor, or?
I tried an online telehealth for hormone replacement therapy.
Okay, yeah.
But they don't use synthetic hormones. Yeah. They use bioidentical hormones for your body. And turns out my progesterone is in the tank, and also my thyroid hormone in the tank. No wonder I'm struggling. And the two support each other. Yeah. So just recently they upped the thyroid. You know, they start you on the low dose to make sure that everything's tolerable. And they just upped it to to whatever level. And I have seen 7 pounds fall off in the last less than a week. So that's crazy. Huge. Yeah, and I haven't changed anything.
And sometimes you just need something to keep going, right? You just need a little bit of progress, because if I can just see something working, I'll keep going.
Exactly.
That's all you need. It's like that carrot. Dangle that carrot.
Because of the hormonal issue, I could tell you everything I've tried. I've tried water fasting, and that works until you start eating again. Yeah. I've tried the carnivore diet. I did that for 6 months. Wow. Fixed a lot of things, but it never helped me lose any weight. Yeah. I've tried calorie deficits, and where I tracked everything down to the half and half in my coffee. And at the end of those 2 weeks, going to the gym and in a calorie deficit, I'd gained 4 pounds. And I just want to hit something.
Yeah.
But now that they're like making my thyroid do what it's supposed to do, I feel a little vindicated. Yeah. It's like, I knew it wasn't just me. I knew it wasn't because I wasn't trying hard enough. It's just something on the inside that needed some tweaking.
I went to my regular doctor. She did blood work. And she's like, everything looks great.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And then I went to a functional medicine doctor, and they're like, you're low on this. This is, I can't believe, like, my testosterone is a 1.
Oh.
And
you can have some of mine. That's
my doctor said, you're everything's normal.
Yeah.
But it's like within the standard deviation of normal and what's normal for one person. And plus, let's be honest, they're using American normal. They're not using the worldwide normal. Right? But it wasn't until I went to the functional medicine doctor that they actually started treating it with like a more holistic way, because otherwise they're just throwing medication at you that then there's side effects that then they throw another it's a catch-22, right?
It
Don't
is.
even get me started on it. But I just went up to this new functional medicine doctor last week, I think it was, or the week before maybe, and she's ordered a whole bunch of new tests, which is great. And my doctor, this is the irony of it, she's lovely. She's great. Like every time I go and see her, like we're military or retired military, so we are seen on base at the moment. But she's my age, going through menopause just like me. And I love the fact that she's like, how's your grandbaby? Sorry about your dad. Like all of these things. Like she remembers, which is fantastic for a doctor, right? Because I might only go in once a year or once every other year.
Right.
When it came to menopause, she was just like, well, there's not really a whole lot we can do about it. It's this and, it just is what it is. And I was starting to get frustrated. And then I was like, well, she was educated 30 years ago when there really wasn't a lot known. And a lot has been found out since then. So I decided to go up to the functional medicine doctor up in Williamsburg, and I can give you her name.
Give me her name, because
she has a wait list.
Oh, I'm sure, probably. Yeah. I probably can't afford her anyway. Maybe.
I mean, she's $250 an hour. It is out of pocket because it's not covered by insurance, right? Yeah. But it was so worth it.
Yeah.
Like just because, like she just sat there, she talked through everything. Yeah. I mean, literally down to, she looked at my nail bed, she looked at my eyelashes and my eyebrows, and I'm just like, what? I mean, and the fact that your gut health starts in your mouth. like
Who
all
knew?
of this stuff, right? And I feel like we're just, anyway, that's a whole different conversation. But she was saying that the GLP-1s, at the start, she would not recommend them because she was not. And then as they've gotten more popular and they've been put through more testing and everything, she said it's the number one thing she recommends now. It for anything from like aching knees, joint pain, like all of that. It doesn't just do weight loss. It helps with so many other options. And I didn't even, all I'd ever seen it was weight loss. I'd never seen it for all of the other. I mean, obviously, other than diabetes, which is technically what I think most of it is originally designed for. Correct?
Yes, something. And my hormone imbalance is the precursor to a diabetic condition.
Well, that's so, my doctor was like, "Oh, again, you're perfectly fine," and then she's like, "You're borderline." Type 2 diabetes because of my blood work and stuff, right? And my other doctor. But when I called my doctor, I needed her to order all the blood work because I'm still going to do that through the military channel. She's like, oh, she's got a really intensive, I mean, she said, make sure you drink because you got to fast before blood work, right?
Yes.
She said, you got to drink at least 100 ounces the day before and then chug one of these before you go in because they're going to take so much blood and you don't want your veins to blow out or anything.
Right.
But my doctor said, oh, if this works, you might need to give me her name so I can actually send people to her. Because she had no idea what to do with me because I'm like hot and cold. I'm night sweats. I'm the brain fog.
Oh,
Don't even get me started on the brain fog.
Years
I
for
feel
me.
like it's one of my best friends works in hospice. And when I first started doing all of this with the brain fog, I'm like, you've got to give me one of those dementia tests because I think that's what's happening because I couldn't remember words mid-sentence.
Yep.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Charles knows that if I stop him during the sentence, it's because I'm never going to remember and he'll just say, okay, go ahead. And because I'll forget. It is horrible, but it feels like I'm losing it.
That's been me for years and years and years and years.
I will give you Jamie's information.
Yeah, give me your information because at least what they're doing through this hormone replacement, which is all out of pocket.
Yeah.
But I like that it's not synthetic.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons it's not covered by insurance because you can't market a human hormone.
Yeah.
You can't patent it, so nobody makes money.
Yeah.
But it's working, and I'm hopeful. Here's the problem with everything that I've ever done. It works for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I can keep doing the same thing and it'll stop working. And then the scale will go back up. And I've been pushing that. I've been pushing the ball up the hill for so long. Yeah. But every time I get knocked down, I'm just like, if I stop trying, I'm going to be unmanageable really quickly. Yeah. Anyway, I could say that the program's FemExcel, and I did it online, and I have only great things to say.
That's awesome.
It's been a huge help, and hopefully that will help me. But the truth is, vanity is huge, especially in any position that you are out and about in front of the world. Make sure you have realistic expectations. I'm not trying to be a supermodel. I just don't want to go up another size in my clothes. Yeah. I want to fit in my clothes. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to walk upstairs without my knees screaming.
And you want to be there for your grandbabies because they're fun.
I want to be there for my grandbabies. I'm told they're really fun.
If Jesus doesn't come back when her 2 teenage daughters are.
Yes. Y'all be watching because Becca turns 13 in 2 years. So what's that, 2028? Y'all be watching.
All right. Do your girls have issues? Like, do you watch what you say to them, or do you how does that all?
That is really hard because having 2 girls, of course, I am.
And you don't ever want it to be something that they're worried about or conscious of, in a sense of unhealthy conscious of it, right?
Yeah, I agree. And the whole journey, because they're watching it, they're watching it unfold. I'm thankful that I have a husband who is supportive and helpful and not. He's not horrible is what I'm trying to say. It's not like he's like, lose some weight or I won't love you. He is attempting to support me because I'm unhappy, not because
he just wants you to be happy.
He wants me to be happy. It is hard. We try to do things together. We go to the gym together, and it's always about the focus is health. Mommy doesn't feel good because her knees hurt when she tries to climb stairs sometimes. everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's healthy at different sizes. Mommy doesn't feel healthy. She's got an issue. Like I've got problems I'm trying to work and get. I need to not eat that sugar. I know you want to share your gummy bears with me. I don't want any gummy bears, but thank you. I don't think that they're taking on much of that. I would say, if anything, my oldest is more aware.
Yeah.
But she's petite. Yeah. She's an adorable little thing. She doesn't have my genes. She probably got genetics from daddy. Yeah. And then my youngest is oblivious. I love her.
That's awesome.
I love the obliviousness.
So let me ask you this: do you get in photos with them?
I do. I do not love those photos.
Okay.
I when I take them as selfies, I check. I aim for the face.
We all do it.
I aim for the face. I love photos with them with the face. Yeah. I struggle when people are going to take pictures of us.
So I will tell you this. It's so important to be in the photo with them.
I know.
Because they don't see it. All they see
don't
is
see
mom.
it. I know. Yeah.
And one day you're going to look back and you've got no photos of you with them. I have mums come in here with seniors and they're like, I've never been in photos because I'm too big. Girl, it's not about you.
Yeah, no.
Like, I know it is because I'm a mum. Like, I get it. Trust me. But you've just got to be in the photos.
I am.
You've got to be present.
I struggle with them. I struggle with the photos. Yeah. And of course, then, one of the reasons that I love the photos that you all took. It's on our CD, by the way, because Brokey, of course, purchased photos for us because he's wonderful and your work is so good. But I felt like you really took the time to make sure that I felt comfortable in the photos that I was in.
And if you're working with a good photographer, it's all about posing.
Yes.
It's literally like we could, you can chop a body by putting a body in front of it. You can angle a body. You can move people around. And even if it's you sitting there by yourself, you never shoot up on a woman. You always shoot down on it. Like, there is tricks, and that's how you can tell the difference between a good and a great photographer. Like, you might be like, oh yeah, they're good photos, but then when you see and you really love how you look in a photo, that's the difference between a good and a great. We have women all the time. Let me tell you, my secret: the skinny ladies who walk in here who are all bones are really hard to photograph because curves are sexy. That S curve is sexy, and it's all about, like, when we do boudoir specifically, I'm talking. But we get women in here in their lingerie, and it doesn't matter what body size, a one piece, we can make that look amazing. But the skinnier the woman, the harder they are to make them look really sexy, because it's all about the curves.
The soft curves.
It is. It's the soft curves, and bones are hard to make curvy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds counterproductive or counterintuitive or whatever the word is. It sounds the opposite of culture. But I love my ladies with a little bit of meat on their bones, because I can make them, like, I'm always like, push the booty out more, because it's all about the S curve. And that's what makes things. I know that you're not looking for sexy in a family photo, but I'm just telling you.
One day, look, I've already told myself, I've looked through your photographs of other people too, and I've told myself, if I can get to a point where I feel comfortable in my body again, I'm calling you.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a present or something. Yeah. Like, hey, husband, I got these for you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know?
Or happy anniversary.
Right.
Yeah,
or some real family photos.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got some.
Yeah.
We just don't have a lot.
Yeah.
And some of that is just monetary, right? We're a single income family. We're about to be all right, and so that'll be great.
Yeah.
But we've not had the extra funds for vacations or for real photographers or for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's part of this transition. By the end of this year, we're going to be in a different place.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. You've worked hard for it.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
It's been a long go, but it's been a good go. And I'm so grateful to have met you and to know your studio and to see your work. And also to know a little bit about your life and your faith and your family. It's a beautiful addition to what I already liked about your company.
It just added value too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It means more when you know the people behind.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
The business.
Yeah. And I mean, we're real people. I toe-to-toe with my teenage daughter. I cried when I found out my grandbaby's going to have cleft palate. Like all the things. But in all the journey, it's still, I don't know, it's just so important to be present and be there. And yeah, I think when you're looking at people from the outside, and it's true, we all do it. We're all guilty of it. We put on the best persona, I guess, but that just makes other people sometimes feel inadequate or not as good, or like they could never do it. And it's not that. It's just, yeah, you're seeing everybody's highlight reel.
Yes.
We're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice when we actually get to sit down with people and find out, a little bit more behind the curtain. I always say you don't want to know behind the curtain. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. So
I think it makes people feel more normal.
Yeah.
To know that not everybody is their highlight reel.
Yeah,
like you said,
absolutely.
it's with social media and the impressions that you get of other people, the information that you have on the other people's lives around you. It's too much, and they're only putting on display what's worthy to display.
Absolutely.
They're
they're the complete opposite, and they're putting every little piece of drama on there, and then you could just block them or whatever. But yeah there's got to be a healthy balance. But for sure, I think it's so important to know the person.
Yes.
So, okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Mountain.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
For sure. And I was in Hawaii for 15 years. So.
Were you? Oh, yeah.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Text or calling?
Text.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Okay. Well, I'm a sweet.
Spicy, if you got it. Yeah.
Okay. What about, have you tried the new spicy Chex Mix?
No. Have you tried spicy dill pickle chips?
No.
Yeah, girl.
Okay.
Get yourself some spicy dill pickle chips.
Plan everything or go with the flow?
Go with the flow.
Big party or small hangout?
Big party and small hangout. All of
little
it.
bit of both.
Yes, both.
An introverted extrovert?
Extrovert.
Yeah. Sneakers or boots?
Oh, boots.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
City life or country life?
Country.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs, but I like cats too.
Movie night or game night?
Game night.
Okay.
But
Do you have
both.
a favorite game?
My kids and I love to play Bananagrams.
Okay, yeah, that's fun.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, that's good for school too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we play all sorts. There's Taco Cat, Goat Cheese Pizza, and there's all sorts of games we play.
Yeah. Books or podcasts?
Podcasts.
Drive or fly?
Ooh. Given the option, fly.
Okay.
But I drive everywhere because I don't have money for flying.
I see, I'm the opposite. Well, not the opposite, but I hate flying. That is one reason my doctor knows me well, because if I need to fly, she has to give me some Xanax. And so every time I go in asking for Xanax, she's like, where are you off to? And that's the only time I get Xanax is when I have to fly. And I swear it's a placebo. It just, I know it's not going to do any different, but I can't fly without
helps.
it. It does. It just knocks the edge off a little bit. Cook at home or eat out?
Cook at home.
Do you have a favorite thing that you make?
I love
when you don't have to think about dinner?
Mexican food.
Okay.
But nobody else in my family eats it.
Okay.
So
except for
I
chips
make
and
it.
salsa.
Yeah. So I make it for me.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Studio recording or live performance?
There are perks to both. Live performance.
Okay. High note moment or emotional soft moment?
Emotional soft moment.
Okay. Acoustic set or a full band?
Acoustic.
All right.
Although there are days for a full band. I worked with Good Shot Judy prior to
yes,
this.
I know. Writing lyrics first or the melody first? What comes first for you?
Both. They usually
Really?
come at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. One massive hit song or a loyal fan base that knows every word?
Loyal fan base.
I knew that would be your answer. Yeah. So where can people find you and follow your music or book you for events?
We have a website called somethingdifferentduo.com.
Okay.
If you go there, there's a calendar and there are bios about us. You can learn more about us and see where we're going to be. We also have a Facebook page that my dad maintains. Both of those are our only ways of really getting in contact with us, including there's ways to contact us on our website. But we don't market a whole lot. We don't do a whole lot of pushing. So if you don't go look for us on the Facebook or the website, you're not going to hear much about us.
Yeah, that's fine. We tell people if they're specifically looking for more like that background kind of music, we definitely pimp you out to them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If somebody wants to support local live musicians like yourself, what actually helps the most?
Making time to show up for where they're going to be. When you show up at a venue that's hiring you in good faith, that you are going to hopefully bring crowds into their venue to spend money, you are supporting not only the venues that support live music, but you're supporting the musicians themselves. When we get to see your face over and over, even if it's just at the same venue, you support the venue and they support the musicians. That's the way to show love, because when you show up for people who are putting themselves out there in live music, you're telling the venue, we like this.
Yeah.
Please do more of that. Otherwise, it becomes too much of an expense, because you don't have to have live music these days. You can easily play a Spotify playlist. Yeah. Exactly. Live music is almost a thing that's going by the wayside. People don't opt for it, especially after COVID. COVID was a huge lane shift when it came to live music. But show up for the people that you enjoy, and show up for the venues that support specifically hiring live musicians.
Where's your next gig?
Oh my gosh, don't ask me that question. Because like you, I have brain fog. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going until the day before.
Check it out. Check out her website. And
Jolene Winery is usually
do you do Zoll as well?
No, we used to. I don't know if they hire live musicians anymore.
I don't know. I just know there's a bunch of different, there's a bunch of different wineries around here, which kind of works.
It does work. It's nice. We've done some restaurants too, but a lot of it's now private parties and private venues and events. And events, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. If we told you this beforehand, you would have.
I would have. I trust you all. I've never seen a picture that you made that I didn't like, so I'm not worried.
All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to come up.
You need a box?
Do you need a box? Yeah. Or I'm wearing headphones.
Well, you have a shorter torso than
I have a shorter torso, yeah. Sure do.
So I want you to put your feet up like this, and then I kind of don't want the... That's better, I think. So you can just kind of lean forward. Yep, perfect. Just like that, chin up, and then kind of put your heel.
Yeah, thank you. Fix it. I need a haircut too. It's been a while.
No, it looks fantastic. Oh dear. I'm so good at catching the blinks. Okay, and then just give me another one. Yep, perfect.
You don't want to turn a wrestling match, right?
We do have wrestling matches. I lose every time. But I try really hard.
It's tactical.
It's tactical. Yeah, he's losing on purpose. Yep, perfect. And then lean forward just that little bit.